God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Jesus said it time and time again, recorded for us in the Gospels. He who has ears, let him hear. We are in the book of 1 Samuel today. I don't know if you've ever read 1 Samuel. I want to encourage you to read it. There's a man named Samuel. There's a man named Saul. There's a man named David. And certainly there's a lot going on within 1 Samuel. But where I want to go today is what Samuel begins with. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Samuel had that heart. David had that heart, and you can read more about that in the Psalms. David wasn't perfect with that heart, but certainly he wanted to hear God's voice, and he sought to follow God's voice. But there's a man in the middle, that's Saul, that didn't have that same prayer that Samuel had, the same faith that David had, where he sought the Lord, and then he listened to the Lord. And so my question for you right now, right, I think you are, if you're watching this devotional video, you are seeking the Lord, but the question is, are you listening to Him? And what is He saying to you? Right? He who has ears, let him hear. Right? When it comes to listening to God, we can hear it, but then do we actually respond to it? We can hear it, but do we understand it? Right? Do we apply it into our lives? I think you've heard me say this many times before. When I inquire of the Lord, I do ask Him, God, what do you want me to know? And then what do you want me to do? Am I listening? Do I have a heart that's bent on listening and understanding and not just putting my stuff on Him, but actually hearing what is He doing? What does He want to do? How is He working in this situation? Right. Speak to me, Lord, for your servant is listening. It's a servant heart. Yes, in our relationship with God, but that's seen certainly in our relationships with others. Right? Are you serving God? Do you have the heart to truly listen to Him and to understand Him? And certainly when we hear His voice, when we inquire of the Lord, right? Samuel had Eli above him to help him. Right? David had Samuel above him to help him. And he also had a man named Nathan. Right? He had other people around him. And the question for you and for me is, who's around us to help us listen to the voice of God and discern the voice of God? So today, I hope that you hear, and I pray that you hear God's voice. Maybe it's in this devotional time right now, just reminding you, listen to Him. Or maybe there's going to be a moment that you have with God, and I pray for that moment where you do inquire of Him, and you bring your situation, you bring your life, you bring your question, you bring your choice before Him, and you just ask Him, God, speak. I need to inquire of you. I need to hear your voice in this situation in my life. Please speak to me, for your servant is listening. So may you be His servant, and may you listen to Him.